welcome to Tokyo and welcome to Tokyo Localized Free Walking Tour. I will be your tour guide today. My name is Miyuki. So please call me Miyu. Me and you, Miyu. Easy to remember, okay? Just call me Miyu. Let me introduce myself. I was born and raised up near Mount Fuji. Do you know Mount Fuji?
Yes.
It's the tallest mountain in Japan. I think it's most beautiful mountain in Japan. I moved to Tokyo for my job. Now I live in suburb, but I used to live near here. Do you know Ueno Park? Yes, it's our last destination, final destination is Ueno Park. And I used to live near Ueno Park for about 30 years. So that's why I often came here with my kids and with my friends. Yes, I used to be a tour local. So if you have questions about history, about Tokyo, please feel free to ask me, okay? Okay, so this tour takes 3 hours. On TripAdvisor and Google. If you don't like it, please tell me. Alright, any questions so far? So, at the beginning of the tour, I was mentioning about general information of Tokyo. I think it's important to understand the city first. The population of Tokyo is now 14 million, including suburbs. The suburb means 1 hour away from Tokyo Station by train, including suburbs. The population is 38 million. So total population of Japan is now 125 million. So that means almost 30% of people are living in Tokyo and around Tokyo. So very, very big city. And if you buy a house, not a house, small apartment room in the center of Tokyo, you need to pay at least $500,000 US. And if you buy a house in suburbs, you need to pay around 200,000 to 300,000 US. That's why many people, including me, buy a house in suburbs and they commute to their office or their school by train. So that's why people on train looks very tired because of every day 1 hour, 2 hour train trip from their house. Okay? Any questions about Tokyo? Thank you. So during tour, if I say Tokyo, I'm talking about current Tokyo and after World War II. If I say Edo, you know Edo? Edo is the old name of Tokyo. If I say Edo, I'm talking about 17th to 18th century. So, you know, during Edo period, Edo era, samurai ruled this country. Do you know samurai? Japanese warriors. But in 1867, we had a big political change, which is called maid restoration. So samurai government ended, new government centered by emperor started to run this country, and we renamed here Edo, Tokyo. Okay? So let's study Japanese language a bit, characters. Sorry. So, these are Japanese characters. Tokyo. To means east and to means east and to means capital. And these are Japanese characters. Kyoto. You know Kyoto? Kyoto is the ancient capital of Japan. Kyo means capital. To also means capital. So capital. Kyo means, okay? And Tokyo located east from Kyoto, so that's why we renamed here Tokyo. Okay? So during Edo period, emperor lived in Kyoto, and then emperor moved to Tokyo, Edo, and we renamed here Tokyo. And then emperor became ruler. Emperor was ruler until 1945, until we lost the war. Okay, so let me talk about this district next. This Akihabara district is interesting to see what's going on. Before the World War II, Akihabara had a huge event. The market stood over there, the site of UDX building. And the vegetable vendors use the rivers to distribute the vegetables into the city. We're gonna see the river later. After the war, when United States occupied this country, small shops started to sell junk radio parts given by militaries, given by US militaries, not emperor, sorry, given by US militaries. So that's why even now you can see some machine parts shop, radio parts shop in this district. In 1960s to 1970s, electronics came out. Do you know Panasonic, Toshiba, Sanyo, Sony? So these famous Japanese companies started to do their business around here. And even Akihabara is famous for lots of electronic stores. And in 1980 to 1990s, Super Mario came out. Do you know Super Mario? Yeah, very, very popular, super famous. So, I mean, computer games. So Nintendo is from Kyoto, but some computer gaming companies started their business around here. And in 1990 to 2000, animations came out. By the way, my generation is Dragon Ball. Do you know Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
I was Sailor Moon. My generation. So after Sailor Moon, I watched Dragon Ball every Wednesday night when I was young. Okay. And also my father loved it. So we the Japanese people like animation, so that's why you can also find animation shops around here. And in 2010, idol groups came out. So idol groups, these girls. So we call this kind of girls music group idol group. So this kind of girls music group is very, very popular in Japan, and this is one of popular music group called AKB48. AKB stands for Akihabara, so that's why here there is a theater for them. So if you go there, you can see their performance. So now to be a member of an idol group is kind of Japanese girl's dream.
可愛らかなアウトレットのテレビ、冷蔵庫、洗濯機などの生活家電を合わせた豊富な品揃えでさまざまなお買い物のニーズにお答えします。
So now we are standing in the center of Akihabara. Behind me you can see a lot of tall buildings. So tall buildings are typical view of Tokyo, but only in Akihabara you can find a lot of animation buildings, hobby building, figure building, video gaming building, electronic building. You can find these buildings in Akihabara. And only in Akihabara you can also find these
また、専門販売員がお客様のライフスタイルに合わせた格安宿プランをご案内いたしますので、
We call him Otaku.
機会は
Otaku means geek, you know? He's a big fan of animation game or computer gaming or idol group member. So he looks a bit strange because he doesn't care his appearance. He spends all his money on his
デジタル
favorite
機器を
stuff.
揃
Okay?
えて
He tries to
収益付け
So please imagine Tokyo is like a clock. 2 o'clock direction is Akihabara. Akihabara is the center of Otaku, so the center of geek.
テレビなど
And opposite direction, around 8 o'clock direction, there is Shibuya. Have you been
生
Shibuya?
活スタイルに合わせてお
Shibuya?
選びいただ
There
け
is
ま
a
す。
famous crossing from the station. Shibuya is the center of fashion. Fashionable young people go there, they enjoy shopping, dinner. Location is opposite and culture is also opposite, you know. So Tokyo has a lot of places.
調理家電を
These are
豊富
different
にご用意してお
places.
ります。
Okay? Any questions?
店頭にない商品を
Okay,
アウト
so
レット
I
全
will
店
walk a
舗
little
で利用し
slowly,
全
so
国への配
please
送
follow
設
me
置
and
を承ってお
please
りま
follow
すので
around here. Okay, let's go to the next place.
本日はソグバップ秋葉駅前館へご来店いただき誠にありがとうございます。この後も引き続き当店のお買い物のお楽しみください。
Thank you. It's the biggest maid, but the maid is actually different tour. If you need to join if you visit. Yeah. Local like public park. Do you know public park? You know, so. Oh my god. So
A lot.
You cannot cover all of them, right? So
We're gonna go to
Hakone. That's the reason. That's right. That's great. Yes. So yeah, there are some party friendly restaurants, and then we stay in Japanese inn. We call it ryokan, and some have a private onsen. Then you can
We tried to book and everything was booked out.
That's right.
You would need to find going to see the palace garden.
Yeah, that's right. So tomorrow we also have a tour if you like. Tomorrow morning, if you like.
What time?
9:30 we start.
Marjorie,
It's finished.
feeling ko bar yun. Pag bumababa, malapit na. Yun yung timer. Oh, yung 11. Nababawasan.
But the guys tell me
Pero tataka ako nung una. Wala silang timer.
Okay ito, parang wala na sa mga.
Sino?
Ito itong
Ah. Mahal yun eh, yung 300.
Okay, thank you. So we will leave Akihabara soon. Akihabara district is not the big town, not the big district. So, but before we leave, I have to talk about the cafe. On the second floor, can you see Maid Dreaming? The second floor. That is a cafe, and it's very, very famous cafe in Akihabara, which is called the Maid Cafe. So the girls on the wall, the pictures, they are waitresses. So the waitresses, we call them maid. So if you go inside that cafe, the waitress, maid, treat you like a huge house owner. So that's why they call you, oh, welcome my master, welcome back my lady, something like that, okay? And I think this maid cafe is a part of Japanese kawaii culture. Do you know what kawaii means? Kawaii means cute. Thank you. Cute, adorable. Adorable. Thank you. So Japanese people like cute stuff, cute mascots, cute animation, cute toys. So they are also part of Japanese cute culture. So and very popular. So. And then this place is not only for guys, but also children, elderly people, family, couples, everyone can go inside. And then you can order coffee, you can have lunch. And if you order coffee, they will, the maids will cast you magical spell to make your coffee taste better. So this is magical spell. Moe, kin. Okay. So cute, right? So cute. Yeah, thank you. So if you are interested in, please try. And I think you cannot find this kind of cafe in your country, right? So here is the only place. And you notice many cute girls are standing along. They are all maids. And now there are various concepts made cafe, yeah, like a cat concept made cafe, samurai concept made cafe. So that's why their costumes are different. So unique, right? So before you leave, before go back to your country, if you are interested in, please try. I've been once. One of the made cafe. Once is not for me.
An umbrella, and I mean not with me right now, but I have like an umbrella, like warmer things, like very complicated.
Yeah, very complicated. And when we speak Japanese, we often ignore the grammar rules. So that's why I don't know how to teach Japanese.
Yesterday.
Yeah, very fresh. But you must be. You need. That's what you need. Coffee.
We learned that doing a tour in the first days, it helps to like explore the city, because often you were gonna say, oh, this is a nice place, come later. Or that's an interesting thing that you just said, come to the maid cafe later, right?
Yeah.
So we already know what we're gonna do tomorrow or something.
Tomorrow, to make the coffee? Maybe. Maybe. That's a good option. Yeah.
Probably
It's
for sure experience.
Yes. We can experience only in Japan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're here for the
for Europeans. This sounds a bit not common. Let's call it. Let's call it not common. And it's recommended.
Alright, so please come close to me, then you can hear me well. And some people go walk behind you. Thank you. So this river is called Kanda River. So as I mentioned, Akihabara had a huge vegetable market. The vegetable vendors use the rivers to distribute the vegetable into the city. This is a river they used. So let's see the map. Map of actually old Tokyo, map of Edo. So this blue line. So was the Kanda River. You see in the center there was the castle. There was the Edo castle. It was the ruler's residence, ruler's political base. But now there is imperial palace, you know. So now there is the emperor's residence, okay. And this water was the inner moat of the castle, and this water behind me, this Kanda River, was the outer moat of the castle. So that means this side was the inside of the castle ground around 18th century, okay? So, and in the castle, ruler of Japan lived in. At that time, samurai ruled this country, and the leader of samurai was called the shogun. And the first shogun who set political center in Tokyo was him. His name is Tokugawa Ieyasu. So he set political center in Tokyo. So thanks to him, Tokyo started to grow. So, and he moved here around the early 17th century. And to rule this country, he did a lot of things. For example, he classified people into 4 groups. So this is the image of 4 social classes. The top of hierarchy was samurai. And underneath samurai, there were farmer class, and merchant class, and craftsman class.
Just last one, sorry.
Craftsman. So
Thank you.
thank you. So the reason why shogun divided people into 4 groups is shogun wanted to control the population of farmers. So at that time, you know, rice. So rice is our staple food, and rice was taxed. So if you were born as a farmer, you couldn't change your job. You had to be farmer. And then shogun were able to control the population of farmer. That means shogun were able to control amount of tax. So shogun was so smart. And in the samurai class, underneath shogun, there were different job positions, which is called daimyo. Daimyos were like local governors. They had their territory in the countryside, and they also had a lot of things to do. For example, they had to put their wives and sons in Edo, in Edo, as a hostage. So if they rebelled against shogun killed their family, okay? And almost every 2 years, local governors, daimyo, needed to come to Edo to see shogun. And on the way to Edo, they had to do this march. So this march is called the daimyo march. In the group, there are 200 or daimyo needed to their accommodation fee, needed to pay their food fee. Then daimyo could not save a lot of money, could not. So this is not a Buddhist temple, it's not a Shinto shrine, it's a Confucius temple. Do you know Confucian?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Confucian is a Chinese philosopher, and his idea, his teaching is called Confucianism. So during Edo era, around the 18th century, samurai studied Confucianism. And the shogun, the leader of samurai, used the idea of Confucianism to rule this country. So that's why he classified people into 4 groups, and he tried to keep the social orders. So that is the social classes created based on the Confucianism. And this place was university for samurai. So samurai studied Confucianism, Buddhism, Shinto, and Chinese literature. But now this place is not a university anymore. It's kind of a sanctuary for students who want to get great score on their test, who want to pass entrance exam of university. They come here. Now Confucian is a god of study in Japan. So there is a statue inside, a student come to him and they pray to him for the success of their study. And look at the building, it looks very old, right? But not old. So most buildings in Tokyo burned down several times. For example, 100 years ago, in 1923, we had a huge earthquake, which is called Great Kanto earthquake, and it occurred at noon. So people making their lunch by using fire. The fire spread all over Tokyo, many buildings burned down. And during World War II in 1945, a lot of fire bombs were dropped in Tokyo. So not only this place, but also all buildings burned down again. So if you want to see historical traditional building, you need to go to Kyoto. Sorry, Kyoto is the only place you can see traditional temples and buildings. And we offer some tours in Kyoto, which is called the Kyoto Localized. So we have night tour and day tour. So if you join night tour, you will listen to the story about geisha. Do you know geisha? Yeah, it's so interesting. So if you have opportunity to go to Kyoto, please join us. Okay? Any questions? Okay, let's go inside.
Are we allowed to take pictures? Some rules?
So usually in Japan, you can take a photo from outside. But if you go inside the building, inside the hall, you cannot. Okay? Okay, sure. Good to know. Just again, take a picture. There's one reason. So in 1990s we had. Okay, so he is Confucian, and this statue is the biggest statue in the world, presented by Taiwanese people. So that means not only in Japan, but also in Taiwan, Vietnam, Korea, and China, you can find this kind of Confucius temple. So that means we share same philosopher, Confucianism. So now we don't study Confucianism at school, but in our daily life, you can see some influence from the Confucianism. For example, we respect elderly people. So Asian people respect elderly people, you know, and the Japanese people also need to respect elderly people. So that's why when we talk with elderly people and like high class people, like a boss, so we need to use special language, honorific language, and humble language. So we need to change the language to show respect to them, okay? And also, family comes first, not individual. So that's why even now, when we get married, we need to choose only one family name. So to, you know, to make it clear, you belong which family. So for example, now my family name is Ozaki. Ozaki is my husband's family name. So normally, even now, when Japanese people get married, we choose husband's family name. So
Is it possible to take the wife's family name?
yeah, it's possible, but traditionally we don't. Only in Germany. So only the case, for example, my mom only has sisters. So eldest sister need to take over her family name. So only the case when she got married, she choose her original family name. So, but normally we choose husband family name. Yes. Any questions? Okay, thank you so much. And next we are going to see the main hall of this temple. So let's go this way.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Are the oranges offerings from students to get the blessing? Or
Yeah, I think
why are
the oranges come from the
Is there a meaning behind it, or is this just
just discussable for
Okay.
And yeah, but yeah, that's true. We sometimes all. There are some flower blossom gardens. So if you go there, you can see many flowers. And do you know Imperial Palace Garden? So there is big plum blossom garden, and you can go inside now. It's the best time to see. And then plum blossom have nice aroma. Very, not strong. So that's why if there are many, you can smell nice aroma. So yeah, I really recommend you to go to the garden this time. By the way, tomorrow we have Imperial Palace Garden tour in the morning, so if you have time to join and see more flowers.
Very good. What time is it?
It starts from 9:30 and it starts near Tokyo Station. Hey, so let's go up and let's see the main hall. Please take photo of these flowers.
Das hat der andere von meinem Kollegen, der ist und dann sagt die Frau, macht es noch mega schönes Wetter. Das kann beziehen.
Imperial Palace na ba tayo?
Hindi po.
Japanese people, but I think the tourists from abroad don't know this temple, right? Nobody you go more popular big temple. And then inside the main hall there is another statue of Confucian. And usually students, people stand in front of the main hall. Can you see box over there, right? In front of the box. And then when we pray, when we make a wish, we usually offer money to the box. To throw the money in the offering box. And then pray to the god. That's the way. Okay? And then Confucian was from China, so that's why this building is Chinese style building. So on the roof there are imaginary animals from China. So on the very top, can you see a fish-like statue and water spilling out from the head. So to protect this building from fire. So this building, burned down several times. So that's why we need protection, that kind of ornament on the top. Okay. Any questions? Yes. Hi. Yeah, wooden boats. Sorry. The wooden boats, we call them ema. Literally means picture horse. So when we have a wish in old days, we offer a live horse to the temple, but it's not practical. It's very expensive. So that's why instead of a live horse, we invented the wooden boats. And then you can write your wish on the back. Then normally every year end, the Shinto priest burn them, then your wish comes true. Okay? And if it not only this temple, you can find the wooden boards in any temple, any shrine. So you can choose your favorite one and you can write your wish. And if it doesn't work, you should change. Shinto shrine, okay. Okay, any question? He said then it means big success hall. That's the name of the main hall, so big success hall. Our first history book published in 11th century, this country was created by Shinto gods. And emperor, emperor? Emperor was the descendant of the Shinto god who created this land. So that's why emperor ruled this country first. So emperor lived in Kyoto, and the emperor was the first ruler of Japan. And the samurais were their guardians, so professional warriors. So samurais fought for emperor and noble people. But around 10th century, emperor could not control strong samurai anymore. Then emperor created the job position, which is called the shogun, and gave the job position to the strongest samurai, and the strongest samurai became first shogun of Japan. The first shogun opened his government in Kamakura city. So do you know, have you ever heard Kamakura city? It's located actually near Tokyo. It's in Kanagawa prefecture, only 1.5 hours away from Tokyo station by train. And if you get there, you can see traditional temples and this Buddha statue. So this Buddha statue is kind of an icon of Kamakura city now. And around 13th century, we had Mongolian invasion twice. But lucky for us, we had typhoon twice. These typhoon wiped them out and we won't fight. So we named the typhoon Kamikaze. Kami means God and kaze means wind. So for Japanese people, kamikaze has a good meaning because they protect us. Okay? And as you know, during World War II, when we kept losing against the United States, the crazy commander created crazy strategies, which is called kamikaze suicide bombing attack. So the pilots are young university students who studied, who trained for a few months to get on an airplane, and their mission was one-way attack to the American warship. We named them kamikaze again because, in 13th century, the kamikaze got the wind protected us. So we hope they protect us like a typhoon that happened 13th century. So that's why kamikaze has good meaning. So please be careful. It's different from English kamikaze. Okay. Okay, let's go back 13th century. After the Mongolian invasion, first samurai government could not control this country anymore. Then next, Ashikaga Shogun. Ashikaga Shogun opened his government in Kyoto, and then third Ashikaga Shogun created this golden pavilion. Have you ever seen this golden pavilion? It's one of massive site in Kyoto now. And this was tea house for Shogun and Shogun's friends. So it's so beautiful. Please visit when you go. And Ashikaga Shogun time lasted the 15th generation, finally we had a lot of civil wars and battles among the samurai. And then around the late 17th, no, in 16th century, one strong samurai united this country. So, and he built this castle. So this castle is called Osaka Castle. If you go Osaka City, you can see this castle. And he's the guy who united this country. His name is Toyotomi Hideyoshi. But his time lasted only 2 generations. And finally, do you remember Tokugawa Ieyasu who set the political center in Tokyo? So he became shogun and he started to control this country. So from 1603 to 1867, for about 260 years, Tokugawa family ruled this country. And first to close this country from other countries. Before 17th century, we had trade with Portugal and Spain, but he thought, oh, this country might colonize us. So that's why he decided to stop trading with these countries and changing trading partner to China and the Netherlands, and he limited the place that they can trade. The place is called Dejima, very, very small island located west side of Japan. And then that means for about 260 years, Japanese people didn't have much communication with other countries. So that is why Japanese lifestyle and Japanese culture is so unique. So, for example, do you know kabuki? You know, kabuki is traditional Japanese musical. So the kabuki was flourished during the Edo period. And also, have you ever seen this picture? So Japanese woodblock prints, this technique, this art also flourished during the Edo period. So it was so peaceful. So that's why, this kind of culture, lifestyle really developed in the 18th century. But in 1853, suddenly United States came to Japan with a huge iron ship with huge cannons. So we were so surprised because we had never seen such a huge iron ship. And then they said, open your country, we would like to trade with you. And finally, we decided to open this country. But at the time, our opinion was divided into 2. One side said, fight against the United States, fight against the Western country. But it was impossible. Our technology was 260 years behind from the Western countries. And the other group said, beat all the samurai government and created modern government by ourselves. So we had some battles between them, and finally this side won. Then in 1867, we had big political change, which is called Meiji Restoration. So samurai government and this new government, centered by emperor, started to modernize and westernize Japan. So after the Meiji Restoration, we started to wear Western clothes like here. And we started to eat beef and pork like here. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for listening. So if you want to know what happened after Meiji Restoration, what happened after World War II, please join our Harajuku tour. The guide will talk about the history more. Any questions so far? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, the next we are going to see beautiful shrines. So please stand up and let's go to the next place.
Anybody want to see?